pushed the fight very, very hard there.
That's true. It almost seemed,
I mean, he was behind in roach count, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah. There was a point at the end of that game where there's the kind of trade-off of, well, do I tech to that late game composition, or do I just keep making those roaches for the big, still, looming power of that mid-game? And Giant just committed fully to that, and with his production...
And Sis was on the transition, as you said, to Hive, and the Spire was on the way. And yeah, his roach count was just... I think he had like 170 supply against 200.
Yeah.
And if it was all roaches, then obviously... Giant with a better position there and a little bit better micro, I think, also in the fight, where it was just too much for Sis. Maybe he should have backed up and tried to defend on the ramp, because Fungal's on the ramp. Like Giant could have, I don't think he could have run up the ramp to his third or second base, to his natural, because ramps are, with Fungal together, it's so hard to attack then. But he tried to defend his fourth, and... Well, there was no way to defend that.
Yeah.
And well, I think he needed it for the gas so he can make Brood Lords afterwards. So I can understand the decision.
It was just really good decision making from Giant. We've actually seen, I mean, in terms of people like LoWeLy and now Giant for decision making in ZVZ, it's really been phenomenally strong.
I like that.
Really high level kind of decision making.
Yeah.
the opinion to counterattack and the opinion like for Giant in this case to set up that defense off the back of what he's seen. Yeah, I mean it's somewhat of a common read because you're not seeing a natural. But the way in which he executed it was really, really nicely done.
So Sis is out.
He is.
He made it to the top 6 in this tournament. Not top two though, because the top 2 only gets the ticket to the Continental Finals here in Europe. And the winner, I mean Giant, is facing against Night End in the lower bracket round 5. Yep.
Giant's been able to take out some good Protoss. He's taken out Blastker and Panda Tank, who have been, I mean, Blastker, whenever I see him in weekly cups, he always performs really well.
I just have the bracket in front of me, so I just saw that Giant already lost to Night End in the second round of the winner bracket. So there will be a rematch, and is Giant able to improve his PVZ there, because he lost 0-2 before, and I'm pretty sure that Night End will fairly stick to his style there, which he used against Bigs as well. This like 3 base, very macro-oriented, because his mechanics are extremely good. I saw really that when he was playing. I think he improved a lot in Korea there. And round 6 in the winner bracket. The winner bracket final, that is LoWeLy against Bigs. We mentioned that before, I think.
That's going to be
another
interesting.
ZVZ. Bigs doesn't like ZVZ that much. But
I was a little unhappy that we didn't end up seeing like a small kind of muta transition in that. But maybe we'll see it from LoWeLy. Because
I mean, LoWeLy loved the muta stuff.
He does. So,
but I think Bix is aware of that.
Yes, I think maybe.
As I said, he analyzed the replays, so...
And it'll be interesting to see the map vetoes in terms of kind of run-by potential for bigger maps. Because that is something that we saw LoWeLy do quite a bit. I've watched a lot of replays of LoWeLy in order to be able to try and keep his opponent dancing in ZVZ, and it does work out really, really well for him. So I'm really looking forward to that map veto.
And I think the next match is actually LoWeLy against Bix, right?
Yes,
and will be casted by you and Grubby.
I believe so.
I think so. Okay.
Gonna be good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to throw it over to Zoe, and we'll be back at the caster's desk in just a bit.
I'm now having the pleasure of standing here with the winner and with Grubby. So, guys, give it up once more for Giant. Convincing to... Oh, let's talk a little bit about the games we just saw. The first map was Daybreak, I think.
Yes, it was Daybreak.
What won you the game in the first one? I think like Sis kind of overextended at some point. What followed up to that?
I faked some kind of roach aggression with the first infestors, and he committed to building only army then, while I had produced more drones, so he had the lower economy, I think, and this is what got me the game in the longer term.
How do you fake roach infestor aggression? How do you feel, like, until what point are you allowed to go into the map and not pay pay the price of your life?
I produced like 20 roaches, and then I fully droned my third base. Well, he didn't.
So it's a little bit like PvZ, where the Protoss tries to come across the map, let the Zerg make units, and then sit back and defend. Did you used to play Protoss too?
Long time ago.
Okay, maybe blast from the past.
Yeah, kind of.
So then let's talk about the second one, which was super impressive. Like your play was absolutely brilliant there. The first defend you did there with the spines and with the queens to like block the choking and everything, that was perfectly executed, as the casters already pointed out. How safe did you feel from that point on?
Once I checked that he was on one base, one gas, I just knew that I had to survive whatever he was throwing at me, and I would be fine.
And did you actually see his Zerglings in the top right?
Yes, they passed below my Overlord, so this was very lucky for me.
Right, so because Sis, he sent his Overlord the bottom left, and then he just kind of hoped, he prayed that you were in the top right, and he's like, and went to the top left. And is that why you made the Spine Crawler in your base?
Yes, I saw his link, so I just, I pulled out of gas, and I just mined minerals and queens.
How low exactly was your economy after you defended that attack? Because I was actually watching from Sis's point of view here.
6 drones, I think.
6 drones.
Yeah.
And then the first thing you did after defending that first Baneling bust, was it more drones, or did you feel like I have to defend first?
I got probably up to 10, 12, and then I just defended more queens and 1 extra spine, just to be sure that I don't die.
Right. One more question. The Spine Crawler behind your mineral field on the natural, did you make it there so that it could help defend, but still be able to transfuse it with your queens while not breaking your queen position on the ramp?
The idea was that the queens could defend it from the Zerglings while building. I mean.
Oh, right. Oh, while building. Yeah. That was the idea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good. Oh, interesting. Good to know.
Well, so then one last question from my side. How did you feel in general going into that match against this? Are you feeling comfortable with ZVZ or not so much?
Probably the biggest problem for me was that I didn't know what style he would choose against me. He plays very well Baneling plays, but this time he went more for the other side of the
Roach style.
Roaches, yeah.
Do we also want to know how he feels about his next match?
Yeah, I think we do want to know that.
You're going to be facing Night End.
Yes.
You've played him once before.
Yeah, I did, and I lost 2-0. 2 very long games, but still he won.
So it was long games, so not all hope is lost. Should be a really great game.
30 minutes. I have to see my mistakes and improve on them.
Okay.
I hope I do well.
Yeah, thank you.
We hope for you as well. So good luck with that game. I hope you can mentally prepare for that. So thanks very much for joining us for the interview.
Okay, thank you.
And we will now have Kaloris joining us for a little bit of insight in here. Oh, there he comes.
Hi.
What a happy man.
How you doing?
He casted a ZVZ, and it was a very, very good one as well.
It was a tad unpredictable for me. There was one or two. Again, Ziz plays like a semi-unpredictable style, so I was a little bit thrown off in one or two of those games. I say 1 or 2, but there was only 2. All right.
But then it could be 1 or 2. So.
Yeah. Anyway.
Did you see that type of Baneling bust before? It was like 10 pull without queen into Banelings.
It's not as common. I'm pretty sure it's not as common. I've not really seen it too many times. Can happen though. And again, as I said before, this is pretty unpredictable. So it's pretty cool. Pretty strong.
It was indeed. So let's talk a little bit about the statistics and stuff from the players which are left over. You are always so well prepared. So you did some research on those players. So let us know. What did you find out?
You mean for LoWeLy and BiGs?
For example.
I mean, I'll have to reference my cards here for a second. But I mean, in terms of like statistical analysis, LoWeLy doesn't necessarily have the most amazing of ZVZ. It's nothing phenomenal. It's like 47% and stuff like that. But he has been able to take games off very, very strong players just in general. In terms of BiGs' ZVZ, he doesn't like the matchup that much. And he has around like a 54% win rate or something like that. So it's going to be very, very evenly matched in terms of this. And we'll have to see if it's hard to pick a favorite.
We'll have to see who will add 0.3% to their win stats.
I mean, there's a slightly larger sample to take for LoWeLy. Because he's been playing in a few more cups, such as NASL 3 and stuff. But other than that, it's still very, very close. Very, very close indeed.
Right, and do you guys have anything? I mean, I know, like you, for example, you're in the same team as Bigs. So is that making you a tad biased there, or not so much?
No, because as a caster, I actually really like LoWeLy's ZVZ. I actually, in terms of the way in which he approaches the matchup. And again, I mentioned whilst we were kind of looking at closing up that series, the way in which I'm interested to see what maps actually end up getting vetoed for this series because of the way in which LoWeLy does play. Now, I'm not sure whether or not he's going to mix it up a little bit from what we saw yesterday. It's so bad when I'm talking about this stuff and they can hear and think, I don't want to influence anything. That would kind of suck.
I've studied this player, and the only 3 things he does are...
And then oh no, it's all ending. But no. Again, there's maps like Ohana that are very, very open in the middle in order to be able to go for those counter-attack potentials that we've seen LoWeLy go for in the past. And again, it's something that he does adhere to quite a lot. And then there's stuff like Shakur's Plateau, which isn't necessarily as open to those big kind of counter-attack potentials, other than with Mutalisks flying around corners and stuff. But in terms of Zergling counter-attacks, which is something that we see LoWeLy go for, with Zerglings and Muters in a double-pronged fashion, then those kinds of maps shut that down a little bit, which is something that we might have to see if it goes or not.
As you guys are casting the next match, is there anything you kind of hope to see in that particular matchup? Is there anything
Mind games.
Really like? Mind games.
Yeah.
Such as?
A lot of people say that PvP is one of the biggest, and I think it is. I mean, do you agree with that PvP is?
PvP is a lot about mind games and how you pick your strategy.
Yeah.
And maybe in ZVZ it's a bit more mind games in a tug of war type of way. You have roughly more similar units. You nearly always get to that infestor play.
Yeah.
But it's I think Giant really summed it up when he said, I tried to fake an attack, came back. It's all about drone counts and when you produce army, and when you produce army, do you keep going on? And if you do, it forces you into an attack.
Yeah.
So all such mind games are probably really the crux of it in ZVZ.
Yeah, and it literally, drones in this map, lava count in this matchup is so much more important than in any other matchup. It's literally a third resource, a third kind of income, as it were, because it doesn't necessarily matter. Of course, it does matter in the other matchups. Let's not kind of discredit it, but that's why you see so many queen snipes. That's why you see people literally basing huge strategies around need to get that queen, need to limit his lava, need to have more Zerglings than him going into my secondary push. I
always say twice the larva, thrice the fun.
Where did this come from?
Well said.
Heard you say this.
Yeah, no, I hear him constantly saying that. That's always.
Last night at dinner.
No.
Well put. Thank you very much, good sir. Do you I mean, those players are both bigger names right there. I mean, people out there should know those two. Do you reckon that one of them is known for a particular style right there? I mean, Biggs, I've never heard Biggs going kind of cheesy all-ins or anything. He's more one to do a macro game. How about LoWeLy there?
LoWeLy likes all-ins in ZVP.
Okay.
Yeah?
And probably in ZVT. So it's not beyond him to do it in ZVZ, I think. Whereas Biggs doesn't all in at all in ZVP. And in ZVZ, it doesn't seem like he does it a lot either. So I always think of Biggs as a bit of a, let's say, robot boy. Boy because he's a bit shorter, and robot because both positively and negatively. Negatively, he doesn't shift a lot away from his programming. But
he's
positively because he's very fast, he's very stable, he's very good at what he does, and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So.
No, that's true. He's a well-oiled machine, as it were. He just does what he knows, and I mean, it does work wonders. I mean, again, because it is ZVZ, there is always that potential to really mix it up, really go for those very, very aggressive moves. Like, again, I mean, take the last series that we just saw as a prime example. Sizz is someone that does favor going hatch first in that matchup. It's something that he really does advocate quite a lot. But any player at any particular time in ZVZ just goes, Temple, Banelings, go. And I mean, actually, coming back to that series just briefly, I think that Sizz could have stabilized a lot better in that matchup if he'd have not gone for the secondary push.
Yeah, the secondary, the third series.
Yeah.
But he kept pushing. And
third series?
Yes, that one. Never heard that.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, he kept pushing, and then it still seemed like he was alive for so long. Like that Roach Baneling attack. Actually, his country mates were sitting next to him, and they're like, "Oh no, why is he doing that? Why is he attacking?"
Yeah. Because again, he wouldn't have been ahead. He would have been slightly behind, but it would have been mostly even if he hadn't have gone for that secondary push. So that's something that does end up coming into this matchup. But again, as we were saying, mixing styles up. Always keeping your opponent on their toes. In ZVZ, that happens more often than in any other matchup because there is that wild variety in terms of like being hyper aggressive in the early game and then even going into that mid and then very rarely late game, but kind of curve once in a blue moon.
We will be talking with one of those players at the end of that match, and it's very likely going to be the winner. But do you guys have any idea of how often did those guys already face each other?
In tournament play, they haven't faced each other at all.
Yeah, so how well do you think they know each other's style?
I can't imagine how much they meet each other on ladder.
It looks like BiGs is playing, so he's not watching replays, and LoWeLy's currently not here. So whatever they know, they're satisfied with it. Oh yeah, LoWeLy's playing as well.
Yeah.
Maybe they're playing practice match against each other.
That sounds great.
Getting to know each other a bit.
Exactly.
Good idea. Let's get some insight. Well, I'll let you guys go over to the commentator booth and get ready for that lovely match. And it's going to be between BiGs and, of course, LoWeLy. And we're going to go starting the map votes any second. And for the map votes, I once more got myself Hazuops, actually the first time over here now. At least only the two of us for today. So, let's talk a little bit about the maps which can possibly be voted there. As Kalaris already said, it will be very interesting to see what kind of maps they're going to go for. Do they want to go into a macro game or rather not? What would be your guess there?
I'm very sure that BiGs going to veto Tal'Darim because he likes to play more straight up. Usually, he doesn't like to cheese a lot and no all-ins usually. And Tal'Darim, well, you don't have a ramp, which you can defend easy with queens, like we just saw a Giant doing against Sizz on Entombed Valley. And besides that, I guess it's just a personal preference, which maps you likes and which you don't. Since it's EVZ, it's a mirror matchup, both have the same chances. It's just a matter of style, I guess.
All right, and we see the map votes are starting now between those two Zerg players.
And, well, as I said before, I know that BiGs watched a lot of replays of LoWeLy, and I'm pretty sure that LoWeLy prepared himself as well. They had a lot of time. They stopped yesterday, and they had the whole night and the whole evening to think about the ZVZ, and today they had a lot of time to prepare, like playing ZVZs, playing ladder, watching replays, speaking with friends about strategies. So, yeah. And BiGs veto Tal'Darim, as I predicted. And now it's just, I guess, a personal preference. It's really hard to predict which map they're going to veto.
I think the last one will be gone now. So we have Daybreak, Ohana, and Antigua Shipyard left over. You know BiGs pretty well. I mean, you guys are teammates. How often do you play him?
That was a weird handshake.
that was a tad awkward, not gonna lie.
What did you ask?
How often did you play against BiGs so far?
Well, we often play, and let's say not that super often, but we more talk about the game itself. Sometimes we practice, but then it's ZVP, so that doesn't really affect the ZVZ now.
Exactly the same.
But I tried to help him a little bit in ZVZ. So far, I got some lessons by Kalaris to understand the ZVZ a bit better. And, well, I cannot really help him with strategies, but some stuff I saw from LoWeLy when he's playing that he really loves to like run bys and adjusting his army very smart most of the time on the map, like playing with the map vision you got in ZVZ, because overlords are everywhere. So sometimes he's showing you a lot of Zerglings running somewhere, but then he doesn't counterattack. So that's very smart, and that's what you have to keep in mind when you play against him, I think. And that's stuff I told Biggs, and I hope he can use it. I mean, it's going to be tough because he doesn't like the ZVZ, and I also think it's a hard matchup. It's a little bit gamble, a lot of mind games, so it's 50-50, I guess.
It is indeed, and I hope those two players are ready, as we are now going to hand it over to our commentators, Carl Auris and Grubby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Caster's Desk here at the World Championship Series Combined European Nationals. And I would ask you how you were, but yeah, okay, how are you?
How are you?
No, you can't do that.
How are you, man?
All right, I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm feeling fresh. I'm feeling Zergy.
Good.
I like some Zergies.
Very good.
So we are going to be getting into the first game. Okay, so the map order is Antigua Shipyard, Daybreak, and then Ohana. And
it's a mirror, so there's not that much to say about it.
No, that's true.
The curtain that is hiding the strategies which are about to be done will be unveiled as soon as the game starts.
Will, as LoWeLy, looking poised. He likes that hat. He does like that hat. I like that hat. I want the hat. Were you at WCG 2011?
No, I wasn't. This is the first one I wasn't at.
Really?
After 8 or so years in a row.
Good God.
Yeah.
What happened?
I lost to like a top 10 Belgian player.
Yeah? Oh, no.
That's when I learned that you can lose to anybody.
Yeah? That's the first time after 8 years.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That you can really lose to anybody.
Fantastic stuff. Or not so fantastic in that situation.
No, it was very depressive.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I brought up harsh realities.
What's your worst moment in your life? No, that was not the worst.
Okay. So we are going to get into this match straight away, and we are indeed on Antigua Shipyard. So we already saw a little bit of ZVZ from LoWeLy, playing that kind of Zergling Muta style with the counterattack potentials, which was very, very predominant in that series against Sizz. However, Biggs, he likes to play, as you respectfully said, like a well-oiled machine in terms of going just for a very, very standard play, but he can mix it up a lot. We may end up seeing LoWeLy here just going for his very standard kind of 11 pool that we saw him going for before against Sizz in order to be able to kind of take precautions against things that would occur, and maybe put on that aggression from it.
It seems like he's not doing that. He already queued an Overlord. Biggs went for a quicker Overlord and extra drones. Actually, Biggs' build order is slightly more efficient than LoWeLy's, but there's a very small difference really in that. Biggs is now starting a gas.
Indeed,
we'll be following up with a spawning pool, 14 gas, 14 pool, which is behind a bit against Hatch first, and the burden of damage will be with Biggs. He will have to do damage. Now we see a 14 Hatch from LoWeLy.
Yeah.
Is that a big difference, you think, from 15 Hatch?
I already like the mixing up potentials of this, especially since I think what LoWeLy's actually doing here is he's saying Hasu has saw the past games and he's spoken to Biggs about his style in terms of that particular ZVZ. I mean, this might be a little far-fetched, but considering what he's actually doing, this Hatch first is going to be able to get up, as long as he doesn't make drones between this, which he isn't between the hatch and the spawning pool going down, then he's going to be just fine against any kind of aggression that Biggs would want to put on, unless he kind of goes up to the higher tech of banelings, and then it becomes a whole different dynamic.
Yeah, LoWeLy is not going to be far behind with speed links and with getting his links out, and he has a lot more larvae with that second hatchery there.
Yeah, there's going to be like a 30-second window, but really, I mean, in terms of in-game seconds, that's not that big a window. It can be if you're able to kind of sneak in very, very slyly, but if LoWeLy is able to position, say, for example, if he goes for a spine crawler, normally on this map, for example, if you go for a spine crawler against somebody who's getting very speed aggressive, you will normally have that spine crawler nearer to the hatchery as opposed to nearer to the ramp for a dynamic to do with like Zergling and Roach aggression, the differences between that. But I won't go into that too heavily.
We see a 38-second faster metabolic boost for Biggs. His hatchery starts as soon as LoWeLy finishes, So it goes without saying that if there's no engagement between these two at all in the next 3 minutes, LoWeLy will be immeasurably far ahead. No, measurably. He'll be measurably.
Measurably, because
measurably
we can
ahead.
measure. Very, very well put there, Grubby. For now, BiGs will have just one guy in his gas to be able to go for reactionary tech if he needs it. And meanwhile, do we have... Oh, we do have the Baneling nest going down for LoWeLy, so... How much of this will he end up seeing? Not much right now. Actually, he may be able to shark in with these Zerglings, actually see that tech in just a bit as long as this speed kicks in, if he's actually not going to go home. We'll see.
There comes BiGs' Baneling nest. He's also mining fully from his extractor.
Ah, yes.
He doesn't have as much gas yet as LoWeLy. So it just seems like LoWeLy is ahead with pretty much everything except speed links, but considering BiGs isn't sharking past with his links and was fighting head-on with LoWeLy's links, there's really no way that BiGs is ahead at all.
No.
No way at all.
Especially since he's investing into the spine crawler as well.
Well, except he has two queens instead of one.
Yeah.
That's the only way that BiGs is ahead in LoWeLy in every other way.
But even at this point, it's kind of hard to really get full cost efficiency out of all that flat lava off 2 injects. I mean, you can eke it out. But, I mean, how many drones does he have right now? Okay, 22 is not too bad for that kind of thing.
No, I guess you're right. Like, you're not using all your larvae yet. You don't have the money. Oh, BiGs finds those Banelings morphing in, but doesn't have the time to try and attack them. Morphing in 6 of his own.
Yeah, the investment of that spine was well spent, apparently. As for now, that will try and focus down some Banelings along with this queen in just a little bit. Doesn't want to go too far ahead with that queen, though. Gets surrounded, and that queen will go down pretty much free there, getting a few Baneling hits off on that spine. All those Banelings were so cost-effective there for LoWeLy.
Yeah, LoWeLy definitely got a better end out of the deal there. Now the second queen is going to die for BiGs. This could be a very short game indeed. I don't see anything that BiGs has to defend against this. He just has the 2 links. No queens, no spines. LoWeLy darting in here and punishing BiGs so hard.
Oh, that overextension of that initial queen just triggered so much there. Just not having that queen means that you don't have as much surface area to have to cover with those Zerglings and Banelings going into those engagements. And BiGs just, again, with that little bit of overextension. And he might overextend with another queen. Does waddle out a little bit too far. Will get surrounded. Banelings connecting with the Zerglings, trying to defend. And GG for game number 1 as LoWeLy with a very impressive set of decision-making there. That was very, very strong.
How ruthless.
That was just one little misplacement of things can go completely awry.
I would say they both had chances to do well in that fight.
Yeah.
But it all gets decided in 2 seconds.
Yep.
In 2 seconds. And BiGs, because he was defending, his units weren't reacting immediately. They were just there, and then suddenly they darted in, and then he had to pull them back. And needing those actions to correct how the battle began is preventing him from controlling his queen.
Yeah.
So had he known exactly now you're going to come in and this is all I need to look at and I don't want to do anything else during that, he might have been able to position his units a bit better.
Yeah.
Both had 6 Banelings and a number of links. So it was pretty much equal chances. And then the spine was there. It wasn't rooted yet. So maybe had he had it rooted 5 seconds earlier, that would help a lot.
True.
But you always want to send 1 link to take out a Baneling, but when you're that in each other's face, it's all about just
difficult.
Every time a Baneling explodes, hope you have as few units next to it as possible.
Yeah.
It's very intense and ruthless.
And those 2 seconds that you're talking about where everything just kind of ends in the 2 seconds reason why ZVZ is definitively my worst matchup. I adore watching it and I adore casting it, but in terms of playing it, the control required for all of that split-second decision-making in those kinds of engagements is so pivotal. So anyway, we're going to get into map number 2 as we do load up onto Daybreak here, with BiGs spawning down in the bottom left and LoWeLy spawning up in the top right. So
BiGs from Team Mouse Sports, LoWeLy from Team FXO.LoWeLy.
The Russian branch, as it were. I think they're
Russian team, right?
Yeah. They were initially the Guild of Imbalanced, and then they formed with FXO, I believe. So they are... I mean, they have a very strong lineup with, I think, LoWeLy at the spearhead of that. And LoWeLy is one of... I mean, there's a lot of players in the EU scene that are quietly just extremely formidable. There's a huge depth of talent in the EU scene, I think. And LoWeLy is one of those players that goes unnoticed for quite a lot. but he is really strong. And I mean, even in the NASL right now, I believe he's doing very well as well.
Yeah, I think partly that's because LoWeLy is not boastful.
Yeah, that's very true.
We had him in an interview yesterday, and obviously we know that LoWeLy is one of the best players here at this combined European regionals, nationals, sorry. But LoWeLy said, I don't think I'm anything special. I don't think I'm particularly strong. A lot of hard opponents here, like BIGs, Night End, and so forth, and I don't know if I'm gonna win. Every time I do win, I'm happy.
Do you want me to share a secret with you?
It won't be a secret anymore, but tell me what's on your heart.
Do you want me to share your notion with you?
Yes, please do.
We had brackets predictions, me and Zoe going. I predicted LoWeLy to win the whole thing.
Easy to say now.
No, I'll show you the picture. It's all written down over there.
Do you have a newspaper of that date?
No, I don't have that. But
that wouldn't help either, actually.
But no, I do think after seeing LoWeLy play a lot of games recently, he is in amazing shape, and one of his biggest challenges right now is taking out BIGs. But we saw in game number 1 that if he wants to be ruthless and if he wants to bring the thunder, he can do. He really can.
Oh, it's very true. Both players now opening with gas and metabolic boost.
Noticeably, as a kind of small note here, we did have a 12 pull out of LoWeLy. As well, despite like a normal timing pull out of BIGs. So, but the gases again were taken at relatively even times, so that speed will be finishing up pretty closely to one another right now.
Now, both haven't seen each other's hatchery, like main base yet, but of course Overlords are darting in very similar trajectories.
Yep, indeed you do. And
BIGs is sending out his 2 Zerglings, 2 more on the ramp with the spine, and LoWeLy darts in with 4. There shouldn't be any definitive damage being done here because BIGs has a queen and a number of links. Will there be some surrounded circling here? No, LoWeLy gets away with everything. And Sol, 6 links, a spine, and a queen.
I wouldn't be surprised if he actually cancelled the spine here, but I think he might just let it finish. But again, the reason I say that is because he saw his opponent's hatchery just going up as he threw that down. But no, it's going to let that finish now.
It's, I think it's just an element of BIGs' play.
Yep.
That allows BIGs to get into a later game.
It's quite a clever notion, actually, considering the first game, because his initial spine crawler in that game was just a little bit late in order to be able to get really fully positioned.
He made it fast. It got to the expansion late.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And a little bit faster speed links for BIGs, so he gets 2 Zergling kills, and then LoWeLy can make his getaway. For BIGs, it's just like, if you're not going to play safe now, and you could risk another game like the first one, and it's going to be very frustrating, and you don't have a chance to come back.
Ooh.
BIGs is 0-1 behind. If he loses this game, he'll be eliminated from the tournament in 4th place.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's in the winner bracket. No, he will drop down to the loser bracket and face Night End.
Yes, he will. And
this is the upper bracket.
LoWeLy here is looking to probably get aggressive. I mean, he's got his Zerglings, quite a few Zerglings. He did have them streaming out. Where have they gone? They had like 8 Zerglings in production. There we go. There they are on the way. So maybe we're going to see some aggression here from LoWeLy with those Banelings. And BIGs, though, it does have his Baneling nest finishing up in just a bit. And even those defensive Banelings already morphing in. Woo!
2 lanes.
2 lanes, not too amazing.
And BIGs is making 2 and now 4 defensive Banelings. For LoWeLy, I feel like this is a fake attack.
Yeah.
He only made 2 Banelings.
He could have reinforced more aggressively here if it was an actual attack.
And LoWeLy is making a spine and drones behind this. He's already ahead 7 drones.
So very, very nice. Again, those mind games coming into play here as, wow, BIGs has really very aggressively reacted to this in terms of that Zergling production.
So smart
drones.
by LoWeLy.
Yeah.
You win game 1 with a Baneling bust. You morph in just 2 Banelings and you force your opponent to make 8. BIGs is on 18 drones against 24.
And not only that, but because these are defensive Banelings right now for BIGs, it would take a huge amount of time for him actually to get these in place, to be aggressive. So he's costing his opponent not only the actual resources, but also time in terms of opportunity cost.
Oh my god, 3 links from LoWeLy kill 3 Banelings from BIGs.
That's a really, really cost-effective trade there for LoWeLy, and he's just going to go home and sit pretty by the looks of things. 32 drones right now to the 26, morphing in his lair. A little bit quicker than I was expecting, but...
Yeah, very quick lair. He had that spine for what you would assume would be the inevitable counter-attack from BIGs, but BIGs is not doing a counter-attack. Because BIGs got duped here. He got fooled. And a counter-attack is like the logical follow-up, but because it's logical, it's not necessarily the one that you will see. LoWeLy was producing his drones 6 at a time. He's now ahead 9 workers, soon to be just ahead 7 workers. But the important thing is here, he's started a spire, and BiGs has not even started his lair.
This is going to move into one of those very, very interesting elements of ZVZ that I do thoroughly enjoy. But Zerglings try and bring up into the main. He kills 3 of them off with the Baneling, and then the other Zerglings actually retreat. I feel that if he needed to try and at least get one Zergling in.
Yeah, it was very important to get that info, and all 3 Lings got hit by the Baneling, which meant LoWeLy's Spire tech remains undetected.
Yeah.
Huge move there. Huge result there for LoWeLy.
Now, the interesting thing is that, I mean, LoWeLy, considering his gas count, he has the option to just fake the Mutalisks, but considering that BiGs has not got any indication right now of that actually going on, other than maybe like how much gas he's like, maybe if he's clicked on these extractors and seen how much is going on, but really he doesn't. These haven't been up for too long either. Then. This could get a little bit odd. Daybreak is one of those maps that you do see Mutalisk play on because of the fact that rush distances can be so long and roaches without glial reconstitution don't get there too quickly whilst the Mutalisks are on the way. So LoWeLy might end up committing to this, especially got 800 gas. Oh, good God. That's a lot.
Yeah, BiGs is now ahead in workers. He went all the way to 49. He's making 6 more. So he'll be ahead more than 10 workers over LoWeLy. But the question is, will LoWeLy's control that he'll be able to exert here on the map with his Mutalisk be able to do a lot of damage?
Yeah, that's a very, very good question here. Right now, so many Zerglings actually streaming. 33 Zerglings on them. What? Oh, the Banelings! Oh!
Very big hit there.
That was so crucial right now, as those Zerglings would have actually torn this entire base apart. 33 Zerglings were on the map to the 8 Zerglings of his opponent. That Baneling connection there for BiGs did save him from that aggression, but the second wave of aggression is on the way, Grubby.
Yeah, 8 Mutalisks coming in. There's just 2 more Banelings and 1 Queen. Roach Warren was started by BiGs. He's now making Infestation Pit. It will take a long time for those Infestors to be able to defend against these Mutas. There are no Spore Crawlers on the field. BiGs is completely caught off guard here. 1 Queen got killed, 2nd Queen got killed. There's just 1 Queen left to defend against all these Mutalisks. BiGs is in a world of trouble.
So much trouble indeed. Glial Reconstitution on the way, as well as +1 weapons for BiGs, but it's not going to matter at all as so many spores go down here, there, and everywhere, trying to get himself a little bit of stability against these Mutalisks, but they're causing so much more than they should have done if BiGs was able to actually scout this out, and right now, he is in a world of trouble.
Yeah, LoWeLy's doing so much with them. He killed all the... Oh, 1 HP!
Oh.
Wow.
The Queen manages to get away somehow, some way, and for now, LoWeLy is just going to sit pretty camping here. There are some Zerglings deterring some kind of third going down over in the back of LoWeLy's kind of infrastructure, but right now, these Mutalisks still finding opportunities to push in here. He sees the Infestation Pit waddling away. That means Infestors might not be on the way just, well, I mean, it depends on... He knows that the upgrade is still going, so those Infestors are not likely to pop in just, for a bit.
And BiGs does not start some emergency Infestors.
And he gets the Infestation Pit. That is huge right now. He was counting on those fungal growths to come out to be able to really shut this down or make any aggressionary moves. I love that word, aggressionary. As for now, it's going to get... I don't know what BiGs can do to come back from here.
Well, I thought BiGs would start a few Infestors just as the Infestation Pit was still alive, but maybe he felt like Infestors without energy would just be as much sitting ducks as maybe all the drones were.
He would have had to huddle around those spore crawlers for warmth for quite a while.
And what if they accidentally got killed off? It would be so much resources lost.
But that was the cool thing about the positioning of LoWeLy there. I mean, yes, he did have to do it because of the spores, but also the positioning of the Mutalisks was there just in case those Infestors did end up popping, and that pathogen glands finished whilst those Mutas were killing that Infestation Pit. And he's gonna get the +2 weapons on those roaches
losing
as
a
well.
lot of Mutas. Whoa, losing so many Mutalisks. He lost 1 Muta as he killed the Queen, and he lost 3 to 4 more as he killed this Evo Chamber. Is it good to cancel the upgrade? I'm not sure if it's worth it to lose that many. But then again, Mutalisks are a tech that he will eventually stop with. He's gonna switch.
Yeah, this is a bit interesting though, because LoWeLy has had so much banked up, he didn't necessarily even have the lava to spend on it. He's been trying to establish this third for quite a while, so he is going to have a really nice bank once he ends up getting this going. And yeah, throwing down that macro hatch as well, decisively so, as that's very, very important. But right now, BiGs actually has 23 roaches against no roaches.
Yeah, 7 Infestors are about to pop out with energy. and they're going to be really useful.
Yes.
But are they going to be in time? BiGs will waste some time killing this hatchery here, which is not really an entity yet. As he comes in, the infestors are looking very close to finishing, and with all the spines and links there, it would definitely be in time for LoWeLy to defend against that.
I think BiGs kind of overestimated his opponent there. I mean, yeah,
well,
the
what would have
spines
happened if he came in against 10 roaches and 7 infestors?
Yeah.
He could lose everything.
Yeah, I mean, he was technically always going to lose everything because of the mutas anyway.
Well, no.
Eventually.
Would take a long time.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. I think I'm overestimating the potential damage that BiGs could have done in that. So.
And it would be like the only thing that BiGs could do is if he like came in and tried to snipe the natural hatchery. Maybe he'll get it, maybe not.
Maybe, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so Overseer will end up dying for now. Both players trying to establish their thirds at almost exactly the same time. Oh, but LoWeLy here just going for an extra hatch at the front. And
yeah, LoWeLy had a lot of mineral bank. Now coming across the map with 18 roach, 4 muta, and 7 infestors.
Oh god, those infestors are going to make a huge difference.
But now BiGs has 8 infestors too.
Oh, does he? Did that finish up the pathogen glands as well? Yes, it did. Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's an impressive army of itself as well. But he does deny the third, and the problem is here right now is that he's kind of pinned in the back of his base considering his opponent's army's positioning, and he's going to have a hard time denying any of his opponent's bases, if at all.
True. What I find very amazing is that BiGs is not more behind than it seems he is. Upgrades are the same, unit count more or less the same. Yeah, LoWeLy has a bit more. Drone count, the same.
Yeah.
Quite amazing considering how much damage he took from the Mutalisks.
That is very true. I think one of the things that when I'm watching ZVZ for BiGs is that he's able to find very, very sneaky ways to be able to eke out those drones despite being under aggression. And I mean, this is a pure example of
very
that here.
Very important skill.
Yeah.
And now big fight gonna happen here.
Oh, fungals go down everywhere. LoWeLy choosing to just go for infested Terrans. That is so many infested Terrans, and 26 end up being able to do huge amounts of damage to BiGs' army here. Now, this is really a testament to which is able to win over fungal growth or infested Terrans. Right now, it looks like the infested Terrans might have a good time, but at the same time, BiGs reinforcing with a lot of roaches, able to whittle this down. This is so close, but it looks like BiGs is going to get the better end of the engagement. For now, yeah. At least.
Suddenly losing a bunch of infestors.
Yeah.
And BiGs will kill the last few roaches here.
That was a little bit of a weird positioning there in terms of the retreat for both of those armies and the pursuit as well. BiGs will clean that up, but LoWeLy, I mean...
LoWeLy saved most of his infestors, and he also had a bigger reproduction afterwards because his economy by now is quite a bit better. So definitely BiGs is quite far behind at this point.
And we're going to see going into the later stages of this kind of mid-game, as it were, the sheer power of the retention of those infestors.
Yeah, it's very important.
Yeah, it can be absolutely brutal for the opposing player to have to end up spending extra gas into the... Oh, and even using the extra Mutalisks he had left over to try and poke away at these infestors. Wasting fungal growth on these isn't necessarily the most cost-effective of things. So that was a really nice pick-off there for LoWeLy.
Yeah, he killed one infestor, and these mutas are basically expendable.
Yeah.
But he's doing so much with them. There are so many players who, once they say, I'm going to stop making Mutalisks, that they'll just throw them away. But LoWeLy got so much mileage out of them. Here again, big infested Terran attack. There's no way that LoWeLy won't be able to kill this hatchery. A bit of a miscontrol there on the roaches, but he can definitely kill this hatchery and then just get out with very little damage taken.
Yeah, and with him relegated to 2 bases now against the 3 and a bit of LoWeLy, it's going to be difficult for BiGs to try and come back into this, and he's going to try and do so, but I think he just has to go all in here. Like, there's no way he can actually catch up in terms of economy right now. I really don't think so.
Yeah, looking very bleak here for BiGs. There's nothing really going on for him which will help him here. He's just mining off of the 1 base. If he had like Ultralisk coming in, maybe it will help a little bit, but not that much. Broodlords, that would be nice, but he's on the same units. He has 1 more armor upgrade than LoWeLy, and that's about the only advantage he has.
Yeah, LoWeLy right now with a huge army, and to be honest, Biggs actually doesn't know about his opponent's fourth, so he might be assuming that the whole time he's still on a third. Huge amount of Infested Terrans rain down once again from the skies here from LoWeLy, as we do have a few Fungal Ghosts going down there for Biggs, but it's really not going to be enough. Look at how many Infested Terrans litter the map along to complement those Roaches. They're going to be able to take out that macro hatch very fast and power their way through the remainder of this base. And what can Biggs do to really come back here?
Nothing at all.
Nothing. 22 more Roaches in production right now for LoWeLy, and Biggs just being decimated by Roaches at every single avenue. LoWeLy doesn't even care if these Roaches end up dying. He's going to snipe out hatchery after hatchery. There are currently no active hatcheries out for Biggs, opposed to the 4 currently for LoWeLy. He's been playing absolutely amazingly thus far.
Yeah, Biggs also doesn't have money to make a hatchery, so it's basically 0. Oh, well, there's actually a hatchery being made at the 3rd, so there's still a way back for Biggs into this game if a miracle happens. But for the rest, it's looking very on the up and up here for LoWeLy. He's even making more spine crawlers in his natural, in his 3rd base, just saying, I know my economy is fantastic, and the only way I can lose is if I somehow lose my bases. Will these Infested Terrans here kill that hatchery? No, they won't. No.
that was pretty close, and had Biggs not sent his army up there to be able to kind of go for the defense, yeah, anyway, it would have ended up dying. But now LoWeLy going to try and stretch his opponent thin once again, sending some Roaches into the main, sending a few Roaches up onto the 30. He wanted to try and snipe out the hatchery. I actually think he could have got that hatchery with some of those Roaches there.
Yeah, maybe.
And for now, he's going to take out all the tech of Biggs as well. And this is looking so brutal for Biggs. He is in a desperate situation. Fungal Ghost to be able to try and kill off the remainder of this, and he will do for now. But again, with LoWeLy's income, he's sitting pretty, as it were.
Yeah, 5 more Roaches coming in once again. Will they find their way through that hatchery? Through to that hatchery this time? Nope.
It's so low. Imagine, does he still have the muters?
No, finally the muters have been cleared up.
Oh well. LoWeLy right now. Poising. Oh, is he going to burrow the... Is there an Overseer there? Oh no, there is an Overseer there. I thought he might end up burrowing them all and trying to...
That's how Biggs kept seeing the 5 Roaches coming in. It was a little bit ahead there. But still, just throwing down a whole bunch of Infested Terrans. No, he cancelled the command. He rally clicked.
Ah, okay.
But anyway, he has enough army to break through here. But at this point, LoWeLy's playing safe, and Biggs is playing because he can.
Yeah.
This is his last game in the winner bracket.
Opting for the Fungal Growths right now as they tear through the armor of those Roaches with the Roaches to complement for LoWeLy. And it looks like Biggs is going to be down and out in just a little bit here. This army far too overpowering once again for LoWeLy. Once these Roaches go down, this hatchery is going to die off. And GG, ladies and gentlemen, as LoWeLy will advance on to the World Championship Series Combined European Nationals final. It's such impressive play, and he's been bossing it up all tournament.
Yeah, for sure. Hasn't lost a series yet, and that's why he is now the winner of the winner bracket.
Yeah.
And he will be facing a single challenger who comes up from the loser bracket, and it will be between Night End, Giant, and Biggs.
LoWeLy hasn't dropped a map.
He hasn't dropped a map.
I mean, the series that we've seen from him.
Yeah, he hasn't dropped a map.
Even against Sizz, like. He just looked so convincing, and then going up against Biggs as well, he's just phenomenal control. I like my prediction.
Yeah, LoWeLy 8-0 so far, and in the grand finals, LoWeLy will only have to win 1 best of 3, and whoever challenges him will have to win 2 best of 3s. That's LoWeLy's virtue for not having dropped the series yet in this tournament, in this double elimination system. So the next match that we'll be showing is Night End against Giant. They faced before in the tournament. Night End was able to take a 2-0 victory in the winner bracket round 1, but the games were very close. The games were over 20 minutes. It got to the 200 supply situation. Huge banks were involved, and in the end, Night End was able to win.
For me, thus far, there's these 2 stories. There's the humble dominance of LoWeLy.
Humble dominance.
That's how I'm going to phrase it. And then there's the extreme surprise of Giant.
I'm not surprised. He was actually very good on the ladder when I played him too.
Okay.
I remember losing to him a bunch of times, but when we were talking yesterday, he said I want more, but I don't remember those as much.
Well, us observers of the game, good sir.
He's good. He's legit.
He really is legit, and he is impressing a lot of people here, including myself. So again, huge thanks for joining us here at the Combined European Nationals, guys. And again, start tweeting us. Get those tweets going. Tweet at mouz.biGs, at @FollowGrubby about these games, about these stories. Have you been surprised by Giant? How are you thinking about LoWeLy now? What is going on in your minds? But we are going to throw it over to Zoe, I believe.
Yep.
So we'll be right back, guys.
And I'm now standing here with the winner, with LoWeLy. So guys, give it up for LoWeLy, who just managed to kick BiGs down into the lower bracket. So that was a harder match to go into. How comfortable did you feel going up against BiGs?
Oh, BiGs, it's a really good player. His micro probably better than mine, so I just think what I can do to maybe confuse him somehow. So I used strategies that I didn't use before, and maybe got some luck with micro when I took his bannerlings in the first game. It was really big luck.
Yeah, it's like on the first one, Antigua that was, he slightly overextended with his queens, like I think even several times, waddled out a little bit too much, and you managed to snipe them off, which is in that matchup very big. And you went for that baneling bust. Was that, did you want to do that? Was that your initial strategy?
Yes, it's my strategy through expansion. I do expansion, so my opponents think it will be macro game, but I just push him.
All right, so then let's talk a little bit about the second map.
But it's no, just for the first map. It's not an all-in, right? You're not full all-in, right?
No, it's not a full all-in. If I can reach some success with this, I can just make some drones. Yes.
Yeah, I think, as you said, it was a little bit lucky that all the banelings died.
Yes, it was a big lucky.
But that's ZVZ sometimes, right?
Yes.
It's really hard to micro. And second map, I think you just played smarter than BiGs. Like the Mutalisk, I just asked him. He said the Mutalisk came way earlier than he expected. He knew that you will play at least once Mutalisk because you did it in the other ZVZs. But this time he said it was much faster than he thought it would come. So did you tech to lair and make the Spire earlier, or
yes,
did
it
you just
was
misread?
Really early lair.
Really greedy? Okay, I see. Well, yeah, it worked very well because he had to make million spores. He lost drones, queens, his infestation pit. So he was basically crippled by a lot after the Muta attack. And then I think you did everything right. You got your third base, fourth base. You had spines, so you couldn't die.
Not everything, but
almost.
Almost.
Like your trades seemed a lot more cost efficient than his did throughout the whole thing, and those infested Terrans looked rather scary, I gotta admit. How was that? He's doing that with the mouse wheel, scroll wheel.
Scroll wheel, and as I asked, it's a low trick.
Okay.
To use.
And
right.
I just asked you, I think it's your first big achievement in StarCraft 2, right?
Yes.
So, congrats.
Thank you a lot.
Happy,
it isn't finished yet, but already it's really big.
Yeah, you qualified for the Continental Finals, so that's very big for you, I think.
Yes, and it will be held in Germany, and I already...
in Sweden, I think.
Huh?
I think it's in Sweden.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, it doesn't matter where it is, but you will be there. That's the main point. So congratulations for that. It's going to be exciting to see who you're going to face up in the finals. And we're going to go for the map votes for the next game any second, so stay tuned.
I think it's
And I now have Kalaris joining me, and we're going to take a look at the map votes between Night End and Giant. How do you see this match turning out between those two guys?
It's going to be pretty good. Again, for the benefit of other people that don't play on ladder against these really high-level players like Grubby. Giant, to me at least, is, again, been the surprise of this tournament, and I'm sure he has for a few other people. I would have expected that people out there would have been expecting people like Monchi and even Sizz to finish a little bit higher than than Giant, but he is here, and he is going to be going up against the very formidable Night End. So we are going to go to those maps, Butos.
We will indeed. It looks like our lovely admin, Sean, is ready with the two lovely players, to say twice, Night End and Giant. So let's see what they're going to go for. It is once more a PvZ. So we get a little break from all those mirror matches today.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh god, it's been such a stressful time.
Yeah, isn't it?
Back to the rhetoric of yesterday. Yes, tomorrow, as we will have Antigua Shipyard negated to begin with, which is not too surprising there by Night End. Doesn't really want to be going up against the Zerg there because of the high mobility potentials after third base goes up for the Zerg. And then we have Tal'Darim Malta being vetoed because no one ever wants to play on Tal'Darim Malta ever again. What are we going to see for the third map? Go, predict.
They're like, Shakuras, right?
That's what you said. Just
I was just about to say it. Yeah, like you did say it. And Entombed is going to be the next, or Ohana. That's Michael. Ohana. Okay, there we go.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah,
well
you gotta give me some credit for that. So Cloud Kingdom, Daybreak, and Entombed Valley is what we're going to see. What does those maps tell you?
Not really. Again, I'm wanting to know the order of the maps in terms of where Entombed Valley ends up coming in there, because that can have the weird dynamics, like we said, for the spawning positionings. That can be a little bit odd from time to time. But apart from that, not too much in terms of the 1v1 maps. We've seen both races this tournament play very, very phenomenally on both maps. So we'll see.
We will indeed. And let's talk a bit about the match we just saw, which you were casting. Yeah.
Looking like my predictions are going pretty well.
Yeah, seemingly
and yours
so.
aren't?
That's not true, because I was one ahead already from yesterday, so now we should be
But if
LoWeLy
wins, I get an extra 5 points.
Why would you get 5 points?
In the final, of course. It's
okay,
a final.
So for everyone who's not getting what we're on about, we actually made bets, like we wrote down the whole grid before the tournament even started, which is very clever, without seeing anyone being playing. However, you guys at home should give us your predictions as well. You can reach us via Twitter. Hashtag SC2WCS. And of course, you can also tweet at mouz.biGs, at mouz.hazops, and at followgrubby. Or if you want to tweet at me, you can tweet at zombie. So just go for it. Just tweet us. Just tell us your predictions, and also make sure to participate on the raffle on Facebook. /VESL is the name of the page. So go look for that one, and then write in the comments how much you love StarCraft 2, or rather not write something, but do something. Make a picture, draw something, make a dance, just anything you want to do to show us your love. Yeah, like that, just better. Make the improved version of what he just did, and you might have a chance of winning the StarCraft 2 Collector's Edition, signed by all the players and all the commentators. Two of those commentators who signed the box are over at our commentator booth, and they will bring you the next game in a second. And of course, I'm talking about Hazops and Grubby. Have fun.
Yeah, we're so glad here to bring you this next game between Night End and Giant. They're going to be playing on Entombed, Daybreak, and Cloud Kingdom.
Yep.
Pretty big maps.
Pretty big maps, yeah.
That means they removed... Oh, we already saw Antigua Shipyard, Shakuras, Tal'Darim,
Ohana.
And Ohana. Ohana is a nice map for Protoss. Antigua Shakuras probably removed by Night End. And then Tal'Darim removed by Giant.
I didn't follow the veto too much.
But it makes sense.
Yeah,
I would expect that.
So yeah, we're gonna start on, as you said, on Entombed Valley. Rather big map, all positions possible. That's why I somehow dislike this map in the ladder pool. I would rather like to see...
Do you like playing at PvZ on close positions north?
You mean like when the third is close to each other?
Yeah, when you're both north.
No, I don't like it.
I like it against Zerg. Feels very difficult for them. They have to like make more units in any fake aggression.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, you're right about that.
And then you just go defend, and then you attack again, and they're like, oh, what's going on?
I think we are ready, the players as well. Red
Giant from Team Knatek. Night End, of course, from Fnatic. Game has been started on Entombed Valley. Fighting for elimination and progress in the tournament. This is the loser bracket round 5. I think it's called loser bracket finals. In any event, the loser will be rank 4, and the winner will be the top 3 and gonna go challenge BiGs.
Yep. BiGs just lost to LoWeLy. You saw that ZVZ. And we do see close positions here.
Close
Both are in
positions
the
south.
South. Oh, no, it's my camera. Sorry, guys. We
And
do have the overlay.
that's the direction the Giant scouts to immediately. He wants to know if he's in for a very peculiar game or a more standard game.
Yeah.
I think that should make Giant not necessarily happy. But then he did leave the map in.
Let's wait for one base road troll in. Or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, Niden will not scout close position here. He's gonna scout into the north first. Then he will scout cross.
And then the Overlord will already be in his base.
So he has to be scared of an early pool if you find the Zerg that late, especially on a map with all spawning positions and that size.
Yeah,
It's a little bit like Tal'Darim then.
Will Nightend go for
13 Forge?
a security pylon, or will he send out a second scout probe?
I saw that on your stream.
I think I'm the only one who does
Yeah,
that.
I saw that, and it's smart, I think. If you have time to cancel it,
Yeah.
if it's not needed, then I think it's very smart.
Or if you don't cancel it, you still didn't lose any money.
Yeah.
You still have the pylon.
Yeah,
whereas
that's true,
whether you
yeah.
send out a second probe, you actually really always lose money.
Yeah. So he did it at 13 Forge, which is obviously more safe than anything.
So, by the
after.
way, for the people who don't know, now that Nightend knows that Giant's on the last scouted position, now Nightend would need to make a security pylon if he does it like me.
Yeah, he actually needs to, because
I think
I think he doesn't know that it's close as well, because he just paused when the probe was not finding him.
Yeah, of course
But,
it's a player's own responsibility.
Okay.
So that's probably not what he was checking.
It doesn't seem to be the case, because he resumes very, very quickly here. And yeah, as you said, he should make a security pylon or sending out a second probe, because imagine, guys, if there would be Zerglings on the way already, they would bypass this area, would walk right into the mineral line, and there's, I think, Buck, I don't know what's...
Oh no, he's scouting top left again!
Oh no. Okay,
Nightend.
Sean has to do something. The admin has to... Oh no.
This is Nightend's responsibility to know.
Okay, so I think, yeah.
Can someone tell Nightend that this is the correct version?
Okay, Sean is going over right now. And Nightend seems to be very confused that he didn't find his opponent.
Yeah.
He didn't know it's close only, but...
Of course it's disappointing for him to find out, but actually...
Yeah,
this is the real map, so there's no confusion except for Nightend. Maybe
okay, we do see the Nightend talking to Sean. And yeah, you just saw him pointing on the mini-map, so I guess he was like, it can be only cross and north
I think
side.
he means he asked someone what the positions are. But, well, anyway, in the rules it does show what the positions are, and every WCS uses the same Entombed Valley.
It's a little bit tricky, because all the Entombed games we saw so far were cross only.
Yeah,
so maybe he saw that and he was like, okay, it's cross only, or maybe...
That's true, but in every cast I've seen, every location's possible. And as well, one more thing that adds a little bit of confusion: different tournament leagues operate different rules. In ESL, it's cross only. In MLG, it's north versus south.
Yeah.
And in Blizzard, it's all positions. So it's variations.
It's very
of the
confusing
same map.
for the players, yeah. Unless you always double check right before you start the map.
Exactly.
And that's what I do nowadays. I always ask the admin right before I start my veto, hey, is it cross only?
Yeah.
And the best thing is, if you get a sheet of paper and all the maps are written there, and there is a note behind every map, like cross only, no gold.
Most leagues are doing this nowadays.
Yeah. That's why I wonder how... I think the ESL is actually doing that, but maybe... Well, maybe not here, because I think at the EPS finals and the German WCS we had that. So...
actually, when I played you in IEM, I didn't know it's cross only.
And I proxy gated you.
Yeah. It's a good lesson to do your checkups before you start.
Yeah. Okay, so Nightend, well, he is still smiling, but I guess he's kind of annoyed inside.
Because he did scout, scout, scout.
Yeah, scout. Yeah, so he still didn't find the base.
I don't see any grounds for the game to be restarted.
No.
As unfortunate as it is.
Let's see, Sean. I think he's. What? So what is your plan now? What are you gonna do? Really? Okay, so Grubby is just talking to Sean, so I will explain you what Sean said. So Naiden didn't know about the positions, and Naiden is requesting a regame.
Yeah, and actually, if that was all there was to it, there wouldn't be grounds for it. But Naiden apparently got told by one of the admins that it is special forced position.
Which admin was that? Because I think the only game admin here is Sean.
Which hunt? Let's go find him.
So who tricked Naiden there?
Yeah, maybe it was Sis. Like Sis put like a referee shirt on, and he was like, "Yeah, don't worry, bro, it's cross."
Is there another Bulgarian player here who tried to trick Naiden? I don't think so.
Just some troll.
So yeah, Sean is talking to Giant as well, explaining the situation. And I mean, Giant didn't play early pool.
No, but like
so,
Giant gets a free hatchery placed down.
Indeed, yeah.
A bit.
Yeah, actually the hatchery is already placed down. There was no probe at all. So you didn't have to be careful about that. I mean, you said that this position actually favors Protoss.
Yeah.
Because as you said, the walking distance is very close, so you can be aggressive, or at least fake aggressive. So Zerg has to make more roaches and links. So maybe in the end, Giant will not care too much, but. Also, it could be that he has something planned.
Giant got an early hatch, so that makes the Zerg happy.
Yeah.
He has a 245 hatch after opening with pool. Actually, like Giant, it's good that they're talking to both players now.
Yeah, they have to. That makes sense. Yeah. So, too bad we cannot hear what they're saying.
Too bad that they can hear what I'm saying.
So maybe we should not. Yeah, sure.
Well,
but I don't think they listen right now. They seem like, you see, they're talking to each other there.
Yeah.
So Sis is also in the conversation.
Okay, how about this, guys? We're gonna have a post-game interview later, once the series is over. And how about we take some fan questions? Get on Twitter and tweet #SC2WCS and give us questions for either Giant or for Nightent. One of them is gonna win. And well, the other one doesn't get interviewed, but let us know what you want us to ask them. Maybe we can take some questions from the Twitterverse. Of course, it can't be, what did you do in Game 2? Because we don't know what's going to happen yet. But let's use this time. General questions, things you want to know about Giant. Relatively new player here. And then Nightent, of course, already has probably a good amount of fans. He's been in Fnatic and he's been pro gaming for quite a while in StarCraft and in Warcraft 3. Got 4th place at DreamHack last year. I think it was last year.
Yeah,
Nightent.
I think it was last year.
That was his best performance.
And yeah, also a lot of background in Warcraft 3.
Oh,
he was, I think, by far the best Romanian player back then in Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
He qualified for several
international
tournaments. Yeah.
Yeah, so let us know what you want us to ask, either Nightent or Giant, and we'll try to take interesting questions.
This discussion looks very heated right now.
Of course, it's tournament elimination.
Yeah, it's in the lower bracket. It's a loser bracket final, and it seems like that Giant doesn't want to regame. I can understand that. As you mentioned, he got a free hatch, and maybe he has even something planned for those positions.
It's also a mentality thing.
Yeah, of course.
There's even a sense of obstinacy in where your opponent says, I want to regame now, and then you're like, well, if you want it, then I don't want it.
I fully agree.
Of course, there is elements of sportsmanship and so on, but let's face it, there's money on the line, there's qualification on the line, there's fame on the line, and not necessarily in that order of importance. And you just want to continue playing this tournament as well. And when you listen to how the situation has come about.
Oh, this is the admin?
Yeah, he is actually an admin. His
Okay.
name is... no, I shouldn't say his name.
No, not yet. Let's wait until we know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But it seems like they found the guy who told Nightent that it's cross-only.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you listen to how this situation came about, it seems very logical. Like, someone told something, and Nightent believed it. Giant has full info, but is now faced with an unexpected situation.
Yeah.
Neither player wants to move, and in the end, a referee decision will have to be made. And
indeed, that's why
I'm pretty sure not everyone will be happy, but everyone will eventually have to accept it.
They have to accept it. That's why Sean is here.
And you know, it's not that weird that stuff like this happens. It's not even necessarily drama worthy. It happens it happens in every sport. There's always, whenever competition comes into play, when stuff gets serious, And when people misunderstand things or things outside of people's control go wrong, this will happen. And it's as much a part of sports as every other regularly uneventful game played. And that's okay, because it shows also that we all really care.
It's getting serious,
We want the process to go as fairly as possible. And of course, rules are there to be followed in order to ensure a fair playing process. And when rules fail, it has to go to an administrative decision.
Yeah. So let's wait and see. I mean, Sean is still talking. Sean is still talking to Night End, and it looks very heated. And and you can see that he's pointing on the minimap, trying to figure out, or trying to explain, I guess, what he thought. Because keep in mind that he scouted top left 2 times. Like, his probe was walking back again. So I can fully understand that he's kind of angry right now. Giant on the other side, well, I just have a look. He's sitting there. He's not joining the conversation, by the way. He's sitting on his place. His headset is not on, but yeah, it seems like he's just waiting for Sean to tell what's going to happen. I mean, yeah. Welcome back, by the way. Grubby was just checking what's going on.
Yeah, checking something and see if maybe we can do like an interview or maybe start a video in between.
So
obviously there's a...
I wonder why Giant is not joining the conversation. And
well, you know,
I guess
it's not good to get so heated up.
Yeah, that's true.
About to play.
And the bad thing for this match, it's gonna be bad for both players. So both are like they were focused already on the game.
Yeah.
And now they had to stop, and now there's a break. And I mean, Naiden gets, you can see that
a bit. Yeah, he's upset.
Yeah, he's very upset.
The one who feels
betrayed there.
Deceived. Or betrayed a bit. In the end. Yeah, he's not happy.
No, he's not happy at all.
In the end, you have to hope that you can somehow rally your mentality and get back into the game very calmly. I would hope for him that whatever happens, he gets a few minutes break. I think that would be the best.
Yeah.
Can I find out what's happening?
Okay. Sean is just talking to Grubby. I'm gonna tell you in a second.
They should not.
So, well, I think Naiden should take like 1 or 2 minute breaks, because he looked very, very heated there. I don't know, maybe he wants to play right away. I mean, it's the player decision. And it seems like, by the way, that we will not have a regame. Sean, I think we will continue with this game, but maybe we're gonna have a small break. Grubby's just going over to Night End and is gonna ask if he wants a small break to calm down. But from what I know, as Night End as a person, I don't think he will need a break. I think he will just continue to play, from what I know. And I know Night End for kind of long time, so I don't think he will need a break. But let's see. Grubby's asking both, by the way. Giant as well. And okay. Tell us, do they need a break or do they want to continue right away?
Yeah, we'll start in a few minutes.
Okay.
After something like that, it's nice if the players can.
So who requested the break? Was it Giant or Night End? Or just overall?
I think it makes sense. I mean, actually, I suggested it.
Okay, so you said you guys gonna wait.
Yeah.
Because I think that Night End is actually a player who would like to keep on right away, even though he's.
Maybe you feel
angry.
Like you want to, but
yeah, it's better to wait.
I think the game quality for everyone who's watching and for the players will also be better if they can just take a little bit of a break.
I agree. Yeah, Night End's okay. You cannot read the chat right now. Sean just said we will continue as soon as you both are ready, and Night End responded within a few seconds. I'm ready.
Yeah, but it's been a bit already.
Yeah, you're definitely right about taking a small break. I think. But we have to accept the player's wish here, and if both want to play.
Both are ready, and we'll once again restart. Resume this game.
Yeah. So sorry for the break there. Unfortunately, this happens in tournaments sometimes. Both players are ready, and let's jump back into the game. And Night End is throwing safety piling right away. Like the first thing he does when the game was resumed. He placed a pylon here.
Yeah, because
so he's still afraid of an early pool.
Yeah, because if he's like, well, you don't want the game to be cancelled.
Yeah, then you maybe haven't heard it.
Maybe you've got like 6 links right outside my vision.
Yeah. Okay, and now he did everything at 18, by the way. Nexus, cannon, pylon, safety pylon, and he lets it finish.
And now he's checking with one probe whether there's links coming in.
Oh yeah, you're right. So he adjusted his playstyle here.
Yeah, now he knows that's not the case, so he can send that probe at home. And the game pretty much stabilized.
Yeah.
Not considering all other things,
but
this game is pretty standard.
Yeah.
Giant's got his hatchery out, Knighten started his Nexus. Giants is a little bit ahead in terms of how quick his hatchery is.
Yep.
But, you know, it kind of normalizes at this point, and there's plenty of influence to be exerted into this game by both players, really.
So the Zerglings try to sneak in, and they actually are able to attack this pylon here.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
That sometimes happens to me as well.
Knighten has to make a Zealot before Cybernetics.
And he has to chrono boost it.
Yeah, he'll have to chrono it unless he wants to pull some probes, which also costs money.
Yeah, I think he'd rather chrono boost it. And if
no, it won't be in time, I think.
Yeah, if he doesn't... Yeah, now it's too late. Now
that's why he has to pull 2 probes.
I see. Zerglings trying to kill this pylon here.
And now... Will 1 probe die?
No.
Oh, yes! Oh, nice result for Giant. Mining time lost. Build order of Knighten got messed up with the early Zealot, and he killed a probe.
Yeah, one probe.
And a lot of damage on this pylon, which may play a role later.
If you want to Baneling Bust or Roach Aggression, or just in the mid-game, as I said, later on.
Yeah.
It will recharge the shields, but not the HP, obviously. Knighten is scouting the 3rd base to make sure that there's a hatchery and not like 2-base Roach Aggression or anything like that. He just saw the hatchery being finished, trying to chase this queen. Not too sure if that is going to work, because the creep is spreading already. And
the creep is coming and says, come back into my warm, sticky, dirty embrace.
So the queen is fine.
And it felt never happier.
Yeah. So he's sending another queen to the 3rd.
That queen reminded me of a trout going upstream. It was like suddenly over the creep and then gave larva to the hatchery. But usually then the trout dies after they give the larva.
Yeah, it does.
This one survives, so very lucky trout.
So let's have a look at Knighten's base. He's gonna add 4 more gates, which makes them total of 5 gates. Very nice spread, by the way. Some behind the minerals.
Yeah.
Some close to the natural mineral line, and obviously the one into the wall off here.
Yeah, and I think it's both out of respect for having a Zerg near you that you need more gates to defend, and also because it's really nice on close positions to get a lot of gates. You make army to attack, and then suddenly you can make a lot of sentries and defend. More gates on positions like this, I think, makes a lot of sense. So usually you see like total 4, now total 5. I think it makes a lot of sense.
And Giant is not producing any units so far. He's making more drones.
Yeah.
He has the roach run, and his lava injects just finished, so he is able to make roaches. Keep in mind that he didn't clear the rocks.
Yeah.
He didn't even start it to.
Could not have cleared the rocks.
No,
now.
obviously not. Yeah.
Has a very nearby pylon and making one even more nearby.
Yeah.
And will be able to warp in 5 zealots. He's basically making them in his own base, but they'll be right at Giant's base.
Oh, and he's upgrading armor right after +1 attack, so no Twilight Council or Robo-Tech behind this.
There we get a Robo.
Oh yeah, there's 1 sentry with his army. It's gonna get targeted down. It's still alive though. It has 2 force fields, so it can block off this ramp.
Yeah, if Knighten wants to kill this hatch, it's quite likely going to happen.
Yeah.
Will he block off the drones with force field? No, he doesn't. He chooses to keep it for fighting. Not the best force field.
I don't know if I like this force field.
No, he wanted to go in here now.
What is this?
He wanted to go up this ramp right now, and he's just blocking out 2 queens, which can shoot over it anyway. So.
And he couldn't walk up anymore. So now he's gonna lose this pylon. There's a lot of roaches. Oh yeah, I like that. He's warping in more sentries.
Which will be used for defense, but which can also be used to bolster the attack a bit.
If Giant would have been too greedy with, let's say, like 8 roaches and going offensive here, he could throw a really nice force field, because he has a lot of zealots, so he has a lot of meat to tank the roaches before the sentries are in danger.
Exactly, but in this case, Knighten will be looking to return home, and he's actually gone for 2 Robo facility with a Robo Bay. So can make a number of Immortals, maybe about 3 and an Observer, and then start Colossi. And I think that's perfect on close positions.
Yeah, so he definitely adjusted his playstyle here. Knighten needs to be careful, because Roach speed is on the way. It's more than halfway done. And yeah, he's retreating. Pylons will be eliminated, and he's gonna get supply blocked pretty hard because he didn't start a single pylon yet. Now he's finally starting to make 3 of them.
But to be fair, he doesn't really want to use gateways now anyway.
No, that's true.
He already has enough probes, and the Immortals are in production and not being blocked, so it's okay.
And he will be able to start his Colossi production right after. So Giant is flying in there with an Overseer. He spots the Robo Bay before the Overseer dies.
But does not know how many Robos there are. He only knows about 1.
He will find out if he's gonna be a little bit more aggressive with a few Zerglings or Roaches here, because the Roaches are both, the Robos are both nearby the wall. So if you poke up here, you will probably spot it. And yeah, he saw 1 of them.
Okay, Giant is now making a Spire, which will of course be very useful against the Colossi which are coming out. But Giant, he's been producing a lot of units. He needed to defensively, and then he made them offensively. He's only on 59 drones, soon to be making 8 more, soon to be on 70.
70 is a good number.
It's a very good number, but I'm not sure if he could have afforded to go that far into the workers. Nighten's attack will be coming not too long from now. Giant looking to clear another expansion place in the middle.
Yeah, Nighten, he's actually throwing a Nexus now.
Yeah, this is how I play too on this map. Like, you get this army which looks like an all-in build, but you need it for defense and offense, but you still get the expansion. It just makes sense.
Yeah, and Giant has no idea about this expansion yet. And Nighten is showing him his force. Not the Colossi though. He needs to be a bit careful there. His army is not too big. Giant has a decent amount of Spine Crawlers, adding some more on the high ground. Remember that Colossi with range can obviously shoot...
Hey, let me say something. Giant's not making any Corruptors.
No, he started 4,
Because Nighten hide his Colossus.
Yeah, I like
He was making 12 Roaches during a time which he needed to make like 8-9 Corruptors. Only now he started them, he's making 6. If Nighten attacks now, he'll be facing no Corruptors initially. And even so, 6 is not enough.
0 upgrades, by the way, on Giant's army. I don't know how that happened.
It happened because he was forced to make armies so early.
Yeah. So he never really used his Evo Chamber. I'm not even sure if he has one. 3 Colossi now. The 4th one is about to join. 11 Corruptors on the way.